Dracula. Vlad III Dracula was one of the most important rulers in Wallachia history. He was also known as Vlad the Impaler for the brutality with which he dispensed with his enemies, gaining him notoriety in the 15th century in Europe. Here are some of the facts that you have not heard, maybe you have heard, but in a different way. These are some of the interesting facts about his life. His family name means dragon. The name Dracul was given to Vlad's father, Vlad II, by his fellow knights who belonged to a Christian crusading order known as the Order of the Dragon. Dracul translates to dragon in Romanian. The Order of the Dragon was devoted to one task: the defeat of the Ottoman Empire. His son Vlad III would become known as the son of Dracul in Old Romanian. In the modern Romanian, the word Dracul means son of devil. He was born in Wallachia, the present day Romania. Right. Vlad III was born in 1431 in the state of Wallachia, now the southern portion of the present day Romania. It was one of the three principalities that made up Romania at that time, along with Transylvania and Moldova. And now, the other fact which you never heard, that is that he was held hostage for 5 years in 1442 AD. Vlad accompanied his father and his 7-year-old brother Radu on a diplomatic mission in the heart of the Ottoman Empire. However, the three were captured and held hostage by Ottoman diplomats. Their captors told Vlad II Dracula's father, that he would be released, but on one condition: that the two of his sons remain in their custody, in their safety, to assure his loyalty. Believing that it was the safest option for his family, Vlad II agreed. The boys were held hostage in present-day Turkey. During the 5 years of captivity in the fortress, Vlad and his brother were taught lessons in art of war, science, and philosophy. Another fact, which was that his father and his brothers were both killed. Upon his return, Vlad II was overthrown in a coup orchestrated by local warlords known as the Boyar. And Dracula invited his rivals to dinner and killed all of them. Vlad III was freed shortly after his father's death. However, by then he had already developed a taste for violence. To consolidate power and assert his dominance, he decided to hold a banquet and invited hundreds of his members of his rival families, knowing his authority would be challenged. He had his guests stabbed and their still twitching bodies impaled on spikes. He was named for his preferred form of torture. So this is another fact. By 1462, he had succeeded to the Wallachian throne and was at war with the Ottomans. With the enemy forces 3 times the size of his own, Vlad ordered his men to poison wells and burn crops so that the Ottoman would starve, because everything would be spoiled. He also paid deceased men to infiltrate and infect the enemy. His victims were often disemboweled, beheaded, and skinned or boiled alive. However, impalement came to be his liking method of choice, largely because it was also a form of torture. Impaling involved a wooden or metal pole inserted through the genitals of the victims till the mouth, inserted from the genitals to the mouth, shoulders, or neck. It would often take hours, if not days, for the victims to finally die. This guy was very torturous. His reputation continued to grow as he inflicted this type of torture on foreign and domestic enemies. In one account, He once dined among a forest of spikes topped with writhing bodies. His liking for impaling his enemies and leaving them to die earned him the name of Vlad the Impaler. He ordered mass killings of 20,000 Ottomans. In June 1462, as he retreated from a battle, Vlad ordered 20,000 defeated Ottomans to be impaled on wooden stakes outside the city of Dragoviste. When the Sultan Mehmed II came across the field of the dead, picked apart by crows, he was so horrified that he retreated to Constantinople. On another occasion, Vlad met with a group of Ottoman envoys who declined to remove their turbans, citing religious customs, whereupon he strengthened their customs by nailing their turbans to their heads with 3 spikes so that they could not take them off. So he really did respect to their customs. He really didn't want to remove their customs. Another fact is that the location of his death is unknown. Now, long after the infamous impalement of Ottoman prisoners of war, Vlad was forced into exile and imprisoned in Hungary. He returned in 1476 to reclaim his rule of Wallachia. However, his triumph was short-lived. While marching to battle with the Ottomans, he had his soldiers were ambushed and killed. He remains a national hero. Another fact is that he remains a national hero of Romania, even though he was cruel. Okay, Vlad the Impaler was undeniably a brutal ruler. However, he is still considered as one of the most important rulers in Wallachian history, and is also considered as a national hero in Romania. His victory campaigns against the Ottoman forces, which protected both Wallachia and Europe, have won him praise as a military leader. He was even praised by Pope Pius II, who expressed admiration for his military feats and for defending Christianity. It's the last and the most fun fact is that he was the inspiration behind Bram Stoker's Dracula. It is believed that Stoker based on the character of his 1897 Dracula on Vlad the Impaler. However, the two characters have little in common. Although there is no concrete evidence to support this theory, historians have speculated that Stoker's conversations with the historian Herman Bamberger may have helped provide him with information on Vlad's nature. Despite Vlad's infamous bloodthirstiness, Stoker's novel was first to make connection between Dracula and vampirism.